Hello everyone, I'm John Eggins. This is PNG Tonight. In this program, we talk to Greg Anderson of the PNG Chamber of Mines and Petroleum on how these sectors are performing given the global subdued prices. We also talk to Anne-Sophie Herman and Lucinda Kisip of Bublong Pikinini, an NGO drive to establish high-quality libraries across the country. That's with the knowledge that over 80% of what kids learn is between the ages of 2 to 6. Papua New Guinea is still an attractive destination to do business, despite adverse publicity the country often gets abroad. We tick many boxes when it comes to the interest of new investors into the country. That and how attractive industries are doing at a time of subdued global prices. I talked to the Executive Director of the PNG Chamber of Mines and Petroleum, Greg Anderson. Greg Anderson, thank you very much for talking to us. The PNG Chamber of Mines and Petroleum, you are the Executive Director. We haven't heard much from you. What's happening there?
Well, that's a good question. Well, it's been a difficult time for the resources industry because, as you're probably aware, the low commodity prices have hit all our various sectors. So it's been a very difficult time, and everybody's had to adjust because we've got low oil and gas prices, we've got low mining prices and the commodities that we produce. So it's been a hit right across the board.
The combination of things, I suppose, and it affects how much the industries give to government and things like that. But let's talk about the industries themselves now. When prices are low like that, their operations are scaled down, the employment component is down, and their ability to explore and whatever is also limited. So talk about that. How is that affecting that?
Well, yes, that's very true, and it's a worldwide phenomenon. And when we had the downturn, which really started in mining in a big way in 2012, 2013, and oil, gas 2 or 3 years later, it resulted in a huge period of adjustment. That's true, and that's happened worldwide. So people were because we had 10 very robust years before that, and right. PNG did very well in that period. So people have been focusing a lot on production and output. So that all changed to efficiencies and improving the production per ounce and per barrel and so on, the costs per ounce per barrel. So there was a huge focus on that, and that did involve some downsizing of workforces that's been reported.
Yes. And is it improving now?
Yes, we've got it's taken some time in the mining sector, but we're getting some marked results now. Lee here had a fantastic last quarter, a real turnaround. Simberi also. And of course, we know the Octedi story. Octedi responded very quickly to a very difficult situation, which was not only commodity prices, but of course
the weather.
The El Nino, yes, which we have experienced before.
And Porgera as well at that time.
Yes, Porgera was hit in the 97 one, and fortunately to a lesser extent this time. And their production was reasonably consistent.
Okay. All right, let's talk about gold, Porgera and Lihir and Octedi. What about exploration? What about new gold mines? We are into that. I think there's 3 or 4 places, production and all that. When does that come into line?
Well, we've got 3 very significant world-class, what we call porphyries, which are big copper-gold systems, and they've been worked on for many, many decades. Right. That's the Frida, the Wafi Golpu, and the one near in the Madang province, the Yandera prospect. Frida in particular, that's many, many decades old. But they've been progressed considerably in the robust period and ongoing now. So, but we've had the exploration in general is very important, has decreased enormously. That's where we get hit the hardest, because we had an enormous exploration sector in both mining and petroleum, which was a great credit to the country, I believe, because it was a wide cross-section of large players and smaller players and some intermediate, which is a very healthy sector. And that's, particularly in the junior sector, as we call it, the smaller company sector has decreased enormously. Yeah. Because if you don't have production, you don't have an income, and they rely on the markets, the finance markets, for their funds through share placements and so on. And all of that is, the markets have turned against the resource sectors very strongly, and it's almost impossible to raise funds.
Yes, yes, and of course it does affect the industry's contribution to government, I suppose, to the state.
Oh yes,
as well.
yes. So
tell us about that. How
in parallel, when your prices and your income goes down, in parallel to that, your taxes and your royalty payments decrease. That's
okay.
That's true.
Are you happy with what the government? You've got the tax review, the Mining Review Act, I think, in Parliament. Are you happy with what the government is doing to aid or to assist the industry?
Well, the key to our industry, and it's a big message that we always project, is the consistency and stability. And that's both the financial side, the tax side, and the legislative side. Because we are high-risk, long-term investment industry, and exploration is all outgoing, money outgoing. You never get anything back unless you have a success. So it's that stability. And the 10 years of robust period we had from about 2003, 2012, 13 in mining was a great success at PNG. And I think we finessed it, as I say, because we kept this consistency. Other countries played with their systems in that period. Papua New Guinea kept an amazingly stable fiscal and legislative regime, and we got dividends for it because we built Hidden Valley, we built the Ramu project, we've got Solwara 1 on the way, and of course we got an LNG project. That's a huge achievement.
Yes,
and
yes.
We should be, that's an accolade to PNG, and we need to take a lesson from that in moving forward. So we have a tax review, which has been, I think, very well done, very professionally, and the government still has to digest that, as we know, and plot their path on that. And we do have a legislative review of the Mining Act, which we're still in discussions with government on that.
And how do you think that'll turn out for the industry?
Well, we have some differences, I have to be honest. We have some differences, but there's a consultation process going on, and that's healthy. Yes.
Okay. The industry itself. I mean, we're an emerging country, but of course the industry has a lot of members and things like that. You've got about 200 or so.
Yeah, we've got about 220 members as a chamber. But we have full members, what we call full members, which are mining petroleum companies. They're our sort of core, 50 to 60, I suppose. It varies with the... And then we have a wide range of service and associates, but they're essentially companies that support and are involved in the industry.
And they don't have to be in the country, they could be outside
the country. Some of them are based outside and doing business here, but we encourage them, like all, I think, business associations, to be serious and to be a real player, you have to have some sort of base here or some sort of joint venture with a local company.
Okay. Papua New Guinea is not exactly for a new company, I suppose, to come in here, they have to look at PNG twice, I suppose. The environment, the cultures, the politics, the whole lot. How has Papua New Guinea been to the eyes of the industries here and the potential investors that are coming in? Are we being viewed as a friendly place, as a right place to invest in?
Well, we all know what the problems we have at home. We've got things that can take many years to change. The infrastructure problems and the topography and the weather and all that. That's a given, and we have to try to deal with it. But if you look at it from an international perspective, Papua New Guinea's got many ticks in the box, many, I can assure you, because people who look at it internationally and are making comparisons often speak out and say, well, compared to a lot of the regimes in countries or jurisdictions we work, this is PNG has a lot going for it. But you can always improve, and you can always go forward, and I think you always have to be mindful of the stability aspect. And there is a certain amount of exploration dollars on a worldwide basis. There's a certain amount of investment dollars on a worldwide basis, and the greater proportion we can attract, the greater we will move forwards as an economy.
Okay, all right. Greg, we are running out of time. I want to thank you very much for coming on.
Thank
to the program.
you, John. Yeah.
Okay. Greg Anderson, the Executive Director of the PNG Chamber of Mines and Petroleum. After the break, parents need to know this, how early learning sets their child on the right path.